My name is Ben Cleaver. I'm with that show.com. Riz Ahmed, first of all, thank you so much for talking to me today, and thank you so much for your work in this film.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'd be remiss if I didn't say I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I'm just going to leave it at that. So your experience working on Sound of Metal has to be unlike anything that you've ever done in your career before, I imagine. We've got 4 minutes. Can you just talk a little bit about that experience? It had to be very powerful and very impactful on you, I imagine.
For sure. It definitely was, So I read the script. It blew my mind just on an emotional level. Then I met Darius and I really connected with him on a personal level. And then he told me he wanted it all to be for real. And I said, what do you mean? He said, when you're playing the drums, I want you to be really playing drums on screen. And I said, okay, then doesn't that mean I should also really know how to speak sign language if you want to make it for real? And he said, that's a good point. You should do that too. And I thought, okay, now I'm digging a bigger hole for myself. But I thought, I can't wait to jump in this hole. I can't wait to be overwhelmed and be neck deep in this, because it's kind of what I love about this job is learning new skills, meeting new people, living a bit of a different life, getting a glimpse into one. And it was super daunting and scary and challenging, but it was also one of the most enriching experiences of my life, learning the drums and learning sign language every day for 7 months.
It has to be such an incredible dichotomy, because at one point you're learning the drums, which is this very sound oriented thing, while at the same time paralleling that with essentially learning how to be deaf or how to play deaf, how to experience deafness as a person.
Well, it was more about understanding a bit about deaf culture. It was more about learning sign language. And yeah, you're right in saying one is about sound and one is about the absence of sound, but they're both about communication. They're both nonverbal communication. And that was a trip for me because I'm very wordy with my spoken word and rap. And so this forced me to be like, okay, how do you communicate outside of words? That's what drumming is. It's one of the most primal, ancient ways of communicating without words. That's what signing is. And what I realized is that actually you can sometimes communicate better without words than with words. You know what I mean? So it was kind of, it opened me up in different ways.
What was more challenging, ASL or learning the drums?
I think I found drums more challenging because ASL had such a social component to it, and it was such a joy to be connecting with members of the deaf community. I named my character Ruben Stone after Jeremy Stone, my sign instructor.
Nice.
It was just a joy to be immersed in that community and to hang out with people and just connect with new people in new ways. Is what I love doing. Despite my frustrations, and I got given a very funny sign name in the end because of my frustrations and limitations in learning. My sign name is basically half of the sign for fuck up. But given to me by Christine's son Kim, the visual artist. But the drums was kind of more psychological in a way. It's like you in a room facing yourself, and you realize like you can't beat these things into submission, dude. You got to surrender to them. You can't control. You got to let the drums play you, and that's so tricky for someone like me who loves controlling things so much. So I found that more of a kind of psychological trip, and I found signing more of a kind of way of connecting and releasing.
That's amazing. Riz, thank you so much for your talking.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Pleasure talking to you. A pleasure meeting you. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Take care.
You too.